Hello there, all you amazing people. Today we are going to look at some of the must-have tools or must-use tools, I would say, if you are computer hobbyists and you are messing around with a lot of computers and so on and so on, especially setting up and whatnot. So I'm going to show you some few programs. You see a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of it is coding, work, and stuff like that. But these tools are tools I've been using. We can start out with a really simple one. And that is like a Windows. There's different versions of this in the wild. Different variations. Mac has their version. The Penguin OS has their many of these kind of things. And I use them on all of these operating systems because it gives you a really good idea when you get like a customer laptop in, a co-worker's laptop in, or let's say you were getting a shit ton of laptops in for work, you have to repurpose for another job. You can see, do I need to reinstall Windows or the OS, or is there like, is it heavily VM based, so I can just delete some VMs and whatnot. So we can go in here and you can click here. Here you can see Windows ISO. I did a custom built Windows ISO, but I will talk about a little bit later on. We have some more Windows stuff here for the ISO, some more for the ISO. So this is updates. Here we have Android emulation. So you see some Play Store and stuff like that here. This may confuse you. Your Hibernate file, don't touch that one. And this is the page file, don't touch that one. Choose whatever program you want. I really enjoy and like this one here. And I think it's like open source if I'm not... yeah, here, based on stuff. It's actually from the KDE application. I think this is open source. No, it seems to not be. But it's based on open source software, I guess. What is the licensing here? Oh, it is. It's TPL version 2. So a lot of people are accusing me for hating open source and stuff like that. I do use a lot of open source software. It just happens to work a lot on proprietary operating systems. But it's not like I'm going out of my way like a vegan does and being obnoxious about it. But if there is a good open source alternative, I kind of prefer using that than not using it. Another one is Evo Uninstaller. And I've been using this for years. I over the many years, I've been helping people with computers, setting up computers, both professional and non-professional. I always use some form of uninstaller because they really do matter. And this one is by far one of the best right now. And you can see all the jank I have installed here. It won't find everything. There are still some Windows, I think it's MSI packages sometimes don't find all of. So you have to go into settings and apps and uninstall it that way. But this finds the majority of stuff here. And again, I'm using the free version. I've used this free version for 10 years now or something like that. And before that, I used some other ones. And again, the Penguin OS don't really need one of these. Mac has their versions. There's a few, like there's like the Clean My Mac or what it's called. It's paid. And you'll notice like I don't use any paid programs. These are all free programs or natively built programs. Another thing that you also should be using is disk cleanup. And this comes native with Windows. Run it as an administrator. Click good old OK. These things here, like look at Windia stats. I do this every Sunday. I look at that to see if there's anything I install to take up a lot of space. I run the disk cleanup. I run the good old... Oh, you can see there's 27 gigabytes of... What are you doing, buddy? It's temporary files. I don't know what's... I think it's Visual Studio that is bogging up a lot of stuff in there. I notice every time there's an update to Visual Studio, it tends to bog up the disk clean. But yeah, also you don't need all these third-party antiviruses and stuff like that. Learn Windows Defender. It's as long as you have an internet connection. I think the accuracy is 99 or 98% or something like that of threat and malware detection. You could use a program to supplemented is the word I'm looking for. That we, I can see if I can find that here. Malwarebyte. I use this on and off. It's getting a little bit intrusive. Like it's starting to do a lot of advertisement. I have it on my work computer, and it used to be really, really good, but I actually uninstalled it on this computer here because it do advertise. It wants you to buy the premium version, so it does a lot of advertisement once in a while. So what I do at work is every Monday I do my virus scanning, malware scanning, and then I just disable it. Because you don't get the real-time scanning is the word I'm looking for, unless you pay for it. I think it says it down here, like malware protection, virus protection, ransomware protection, all that. And all of these, like malware protection, stuff like that, if you are paying for any Microsoft subscription, the smallest one you can find, you will get that automatically with Windows Defender. Again, if you are, this is more maintenance. Now we're going also a little bit like, the first initial setting up, you're doing more, like you're a little bit more than just a hobbyist, maybe. You know, you do a lot of the IT support for your family and stuff like that. But what I do recommend that you do is that you download NT Lite, as we have up here. I have a video about it. And you download the Windows version that you want. I prefer the Professional Edition. And then you make your own custom Windows. You take away recall. You can take away recall. You take away TPM requirement, RAM requirement, CPU requirement. You take away all the elements you don't want. You enable offline accounts. You can even disable online accounts if you don't want to have them enabled at all. But basically, you can customize Windows almost to the same degree as the good old Penguin OS, if you know what you are doing. So this is like the initial step, like this is the first thing you do if you get a new computer. Have a custom Windows ready. And I have a video about NT Lite. I'm not going to show you much about it here or anything at all. It takes a little bit of time to start up because it's finding all its the ISOs, stuff like that, and loading the presets and whatnot. Okay, so I must have deleted the ISO or fucked the ISO up or something in that nature. A cache file or whatever. Again, watch the video I have about it. I will probably pin it in a comment. If you are getting a computer in the store, or you're getting a computer for your friends and family. I just spent this weekend making, well, it's Saturday now, so I spent Friday making a computer checker. And what this basically does is it checks your computer. We can run it now. It checks your computer. It's basically using PowerShell commands that any IT literate guy or educated guy would use to check the basics about your computer. And I can show you the outputs right now here in a second. It don't take long. See, it's not the prettiest, but it does the job. But it will give you a report here. You can see my CPU. This is my first hard drive. It's okay. It's healthy. The size, the second one. You can see my networks. You can now have my MAC addresses. So probably block that out. You can also see my RAM, Micron Technologies, the speed, the capacity, and the part number. This will tell you 90% of the problems that a used computer will have. Do you have a bad hard drive? And what size is it? What is the speed of your networks? That's nice to need to hear, because you get a lot of computers, they may not have 1 gigabytes per second speeds. You know, it may be up or down, so it disconnected or down. And you go in and look at the device manager and it says it's operating, you know, so you get some, again, like I said, these are like the first thing I do when I get a computer in, I have to set it up and it's a used computer, or someone gives me that computer, I need to fix it. I check these things just to get a basic. And if it's a laptop, it will give you a battery report. Because even if people don't ask for it, you can kind of see here, you know, you can see the history of it, you can see what's going on. This is actually a really good battery. I don't even think Apple has this. I think Windows is the only one has this detailed battery report. I wish all other OSs had the same, because it makes it so much easier to give you like a really good indicator about your battery health. Mac, I think, just have like battery health, okay, bad, or something like that. Here you can actually see what's going on, and a lot of times a bad battery health indicator could be a program that just sits there and siphoning the battery capacity all the time. Like, why don't I have that big, why don't I have, good battery life anymore? And even if you go into the good old battery usage, this is still not super good. And this also only goes, I think it's like 7 days back. Yeah, 7 days back. This is the last 7 days here also. The last 7 days. Am I mistaken here? Is this also only going 7 days back? No, this is going way back further. I think this is when I got the computer. So especially on laptops, this is like, I use this a lot because you can't trust people when they put laptops up for sale. They more or less just look at the cycle count, for example, and they will put that in, and then they have like a design capacity, and then they will see, okay, what is the current capacity? We will have that here somewhere. Where is it? It used to have, full charge capacity, design capacity. So they will go like, okay, how much lower is the full time capacity versus the design capacity, for example. Or they look over the history, so you can see it actually have like a higher design full time capacity than the design capacity. And this will go down over time. Mine actually got up a little bit. The battery is a little bit iffy like that. But let's say it's like at 50 milliwatts hours. And they will say, okay, that's an okay battery. If it's 45, they will say it's an average battery. If it's 40, they will say it's a bad battery. And that's all they do. But here you can actually see what's going on with the system. Because the system can go in, and again, this is not just Windows, this is all other OSs. There are programs that can go in and cheat, or misrepresent, or make the OS act as it should not do, because it's required to utilize something in the background on and off that the OS don't track that well, and you will see that in here for sure. See a little bit the last 7 day battery use. See you all later, have a good day, bye bye.